Okay, we pause that. Have both of those up. Alright, it says I'm streaming Multiversus. Control Shift Escape. Oh my goodness. How to kill OBS. Make sure that y'all can see the sound properly in the back. Hopefully before the year ends, OBS starts up. Okay, there we go. That started up. YouTube live chats on. Hi, live chat. Okay, that is all. Okay, we'll see in a second. Yeah, I can see that. So, oh wait. Let me press so my table moves up. It's all. All right. Today, we are in the third day of Negro History Month, aka Black History Month. And today, if you recognize this instrumental, you know the first thing we gonna talk about is how you Multiversus niggas is bugging. So, you motherfuckers that was playing Multiversus, you couldn't support the game when it was out. You couldn't show the game any type of love or energy when the game was out. But the game shut down. Now all of a sudden, everybody losing their biscuit. Everybody beans is in a toast. Everybody fucking rifles is missing a couple bullets all of a sudden. Now everybody got 9 shots in their magazine instead of 10. I'm starting off on bad timing. Cause why is it that I sat there and defended the Multiversus game in the community for a very long time just to turn around and hear that the Multiversus director has came out to call out the violent threats amid shutdown backlash and roster rumors? What? Y'all wildin'. Where was this energy when the game was having a 99% drop-off rate? Where was this energy when the game died and came back? Where was his energy when the beta that was supposed to be just a release of the game that they doubled back and said, oh yeah, it's a beta, it was just a beta? What happened? Where was the energy when this happened? When that happened? Where was that energy? Where was it? Where was it? I'll tell you where it was. Nowhere to be found. Cause the game wouldn't be dying if y'all went as hard as I think y'all are going based on just this headline, sending all types of crazy stuff to this to one of the creators and makers of Multiversus. If y'all are going as hard as I think y'all are, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Y'all is bugging. Y'all bugging. But let's read on about how the backlash has grown toxic as developers mourn the fighting game's quick demise. It's ironic that this instrumental played next. I swear, this is on random. I have this playlist on random. But we went from Multiversus instrumental to a Smash Bros. Instrumental. Melee at that. Anyway, Multiversus final season update. Oh wait, no, that's the first one. We know what's happening. If you ain't got the lowdown on what's happening with Multiverse. Oh, I just realized I have the volume up and I don't have my filter on. Okay, there's my filter. There's the volume. All right, so boom, bet. Now back to this article. Long story short, nobody was playing Multiverses and it's shutting down. If you don't have all the context of what's going on in this scenario. Now let's read about how revealed last week, Multiverses will go offline at the end of May when season 5 wraps up. Just 1 year after it resurfaced following its first shutdown. And I'm not gonna lie, it hasn't even been a year. This came out what, May last year? Let me see. When it was it I thought my instrumental stopped for a second. I was about to say it. What's going on? May 28th, 2024, and it's going out in March, I believe. So even if February, March, April, May. So yeah, the game didn't even survive a year. It's shutting down in March. It opened up last year in May. This game wasn't even a year. Wasn't even a year. And they taking it out back and they're like, come on, little doggy. You suffering to live right now. Right now, you're living and suffering. I got you though. Bah! That's what's happening in the Multiverses right now. They taking it out back and they 4-5 in it. They 4-5 in it to fuck up. 4-5-2-2, whatever. Something going in his head that's made of metal. That's what's happening. Revealed last week. Oh no, I read that. The backlash was swift and in some corners of the internet, outright toxic. Complaints range from Warner Bros. Not offering refunds, which is something valid and reasonable to crash out about, because we read about that the other day. Basically, people who brought like founders passes for tokens to redeem characters in the future, they'll never be able to use those coins because there's no characters to redeem in the future. Warner Bros. Not offering refunds to outgoing performance issues. Yeah, when I tried to play the game the other day, the shit crashed my whole computer. And certain roster choices. Fans wondered why the Banana Guard NPC became a fighter, while characters like, I don't know who the fuck that is, so no, we wasn't asking for that nigga. You know who he was asking for? The rest of the fucking Teen Titans. You know who he was asking for? I don't know, but I can tell you who he wasn't asking for. He wasn't asking for, even though it's a cool character, nobody asked for the fucking Gremlin. Don't get me wrong. It's Black History Month. So I'm not going to talk shit about Nubia or nothing like that, because there ain't no shit to talk. I mean, some black women. But let's be real. Before Multiverses, I didn't know who the fuck Nubia was. I knew what a Nubian goddess was. I knew what Anubis was. I knew what the nub of a baby bottle, like before you take a sippy or before you unscrew the cap, so that you put the Wacky sauce special in your Sprite. I knew what those was. Didn't know who the fuck Nubia was. If it wasn't for this game, I wouldn't know who the fuck Nubia was. They added her, a Nubian goddess, that again was in the game that nobody knew about, over characters like Cyborg. Like, how the fuck you gonna put Raven in the game, but you not gonna put Cyborg? They put Marceline in the game. Where was Princess Bubblegum? Where was Gunther? If you wanted to add an Adventure Time character that people wanted to play as, you should have added Gunther. At least that's a character people remember. People who watch Adventure Time, if you ask them, hey, what's your favorite character in Adventure Time? There's a good chance you can hear the name Gunther. You're never gonna hear a nigga a day in their life say, yo, my favorite character from Adventure Time, Banana Guard! You're never gonna hear that. Maybe favorite background character, maybe, but you're never gonna hear niggas jump up and down and say Banana Guard. You could have added fucking the Lich. You could have added Lemon Guard, Princess Bubblegum. They added Marceline, so I'll give them that. You could have added Marceline. I forgot what her father's name, but you could have added them. You could have added Lady Rainicorn. Nigga, you could have added the Magic Man. It's so, especially the Lich. How the fuck did they add Marceline Alright, we back. Chat, are we back? Let me check my stream. Make sure I'm good. Alright, cool. We back. Alright, so boom. Like I was saying, something like Gumball Guardian would make sense. But Banana Guard, nobody was asking for that motherfucker. Nobody woke up and said, hey, bruh, out of all the people in Adventure Time who they could add to Multiversus, you know who I want? Fucking Banana Guard. Nobody was asking. So yeah, I don't know who the fuck they're talking about, but Banana, like, it's stuff like that made people not want to play Multiversus, but I'm not trying to go too far into that rant. A debate ensued on the subreddit as to whether the game's $100 founder pack, which included 30 tokens for redeeming new characters, had defrauded players. How many characters are in Multi? Oh wait, you get certain characters for free. So yeah, you weren't actually mechanically incapable of spending all 30 of those tokens, even if you brought every character that came out as they came out. You were incapable of using all 30 of their tokens. Yeah, they robbed you. Had defrauded. Some players said they'd never buy a Warner Bros. Multiplayer game again. You didn't buy Multiversus, nigga. You brought a microtransaction. Multiversus went from a mostly positive rating on Steam with over 100,000 reviews to mostly negative over the weekend. And that could be people review bombing. But the fallout turned more ugly when a series of anonymous, unsubstantiated comments claiming to be from people who worked on the game directly blamed game director Tony for all his problems. Oh, I want to hear about that. Anonymous substantiated claims. Alright, this is working in rumors. This is coming from the Gaming Leaks and Rumors Reddit. I don't read that shit. I don't trust none of that shit unless it's a confirmed source. So let's keep going. Or finished characters that leaked and circulated over the weekend. Oh wait, they said seemingly real. No, seemingly fake roster finished characters that leaked and circulated over the weekend, which added fuel to fan conspiracies about Multiversus prioritizing the wrong roster addition. That's not fan rumors, nigga. That's just straight up something that happened. Did I just get scammed? Got founders when Marvin Martian came out. Only 12 characters came out. Yeah, you definitely got robbed, because if 12 characters came out and you got 30 tokens, it don't take a math magician to realize that you'll never be able to spend the rest of those 30 tokens if they even spent 12 tokens, because the maximum amount of tokens they could have spent, saying that they got it when Martian came out and that there's 12 characters after that, the maximum amount of coins they could have reasonably spent are 12. And then on top of that, like I said, no new characters are coming out. So if they already have every character, they just have some shit they pay for that they mechanically will never be able to use. I'm sorry if we couldn't get to your favorite character. Big Tony wrote. Let's read the original tweet. Let's read the source. Hey all. Wait, hold on. Gotta get the sad music out. Because it is sad that this game is going under, but I gotta get my fucking jokes and funny voices off. Hey all! I wanted to say a few words as I reflect on the recently announced news about Multiversus. While I'm sad about the outcome, I will forever be grateful for the opportunity given us by WB Games and to each and every developer on the Player First Games and WB Games teams. Also to every IP holder, thank you for entrusting us with your babies. We hope we made the characters true to themselves and that they felt authentic to you fans. I couldn't be prouder of the work the PFG team did. That endless creativity and passion never ceased to inspire and amaze me, man. I do this shit for the love of the game. I do this game for the love of this shit, man. And of course, I want to thank every player who has ever Play to support a Multiversus. Delighting in serving players is player first game's objective. I apologize for not addressing things sooner. There's been a lot going on, and I've been focused on the game team, but now more so the team. Thank you for sending us all the great fan art, character ideas, and personal stories. When they were the highlight of every day and always kept us excited as a team. I'm sorry if we couldn't get to your favorite character, because we had to spend dev time adding fucking Banana Guard into the game. I do think Aquaman and Lola are really fucking cool. Yeah, you know what's the thing about that? You might think Aquaman and Lola Bunny are cool, but Lola Bunny might be a cool addition. Hands in the air. But better question, let's look up the date of, you know, something random that's completely unrelated to this. Oh wait, hold on, I forgot the two. So, the most recent thing Lola Bunny has been in is Space Jam 2. That came out in July 16th of 2021. Multiversus came out in 2022. So, not too long, about less than a year, maximum a year and some change after this movie dropped. And they added LeBron James and Bugs Bunny in there. Bugs Bunny I could see being a shoo-in regardless of Space Jam releasing recently, right? But why the fuck did you wait about 4 years till 2025 to add Bunny Hop, Lola Bunny? What the fuck? Space Jam 2 came out in 2021. Niggas is not gonna see Lola Bunny and Multiversus and go, oh shit, you know what? I ain't watched Space Jam in the past 3-4 years. I don't give a fuck about that movie. But yo, they added Lola Bunny in the Multiversus. Yo, let me go watch that. Let me go cop that. Oh shit, they ain't got it in theaters no more. Yo, you know what? Let me go make sure I get HBO Max and watch that. Yo. Why wasn't the bitch in the game 3 years ago? In 2022. It's 2025, nigga. We're halfway through the damn decade, and this shit released at the beginning of the decade. Why'd you wait so long? We wanted to see this 2-3 years ago. Why you waited till now? You know what this is like? This is like that socially unaware person that hears something and waits 20 minutes to say his funny thought about that something. You thought of this. Are you good? Oh, you just excited. You think of something. You know how sometimes you think of something funny? You hear, you in your head. You like, yo, it would be funny if I said this right now. And in the moment, everybody keep talking over you, or nobody let you get in a word edgewise, and the moment passes. That socially awkward person that will wait 20 minutes until everybody's silent to randomly just say some shit that doesn't make sense out of context. And you looking at them like, yo, why didn't you say that 20 minutes ago when that actually would have been funny? That's them. Why didn't you add this to the game 3 years ago when it actually would have been cool? Why'd you wait? Out of all the characters, nigga, you added Marceline in the game after Banana Guard. That's still an unforgivable sin, because nobody even asked for Banana Guard. Banana Guard's a character you put on a back burner, and when you got everybody you want added, and you got room to start adding funky, funny ass characters, then you add Banana Guard. Niggas was all in my comments saying, oh man, I think Banana Guard is cool. I think, nigga, you're the minority. You're the DEI in this situation. Nobody else relates to you, nigga. Let's close this out. Also, another thing. Who the fuck growing up said Aquaman is my favorite hero? I never heard the only time I swear upon my honor, the only time I ever heard a single human being ever say that they cared about Aquaman was horny bitches after seeing Jason Momoa on screen in that damn movie. They was all fawning over his muscles and shit. Oh my god, he has rippling muscles. Before and after that movie, none of them bitches give a fuck about Aquaman. Nobody has seen the Jason Momoa Aquaman and say, yo, not gonna lie, I'm about to slide to my local comic book store. I'm about to do this with my credit card. And in the other hand, will be an Aquaman graphic novel. No, nigga. Nobody's buying Aquaman volume 1 through 5. Why the fuck did you put him here? These niggas put Aquaman in the game before they put the Flash in the game. These niggas put Aquaman in the game before Flash. Nigga, I would have took Lex Luthor. I would have took Gorilla Grodd. I would have took fucking Blue Beetle, my nigga. I would have took... I wouldn't have liked Static Shock. I'd have been critical. But I would have took Static Shock over fuck ass Black... Like, yo, if they dead ass... Like, modders, get on this. When the game goes offline, mod it so that instead of Black Adam, it's Static Shock in his character slot. Like, the skin is just Static Shock. Modders, get on that. I would have took fucking Static Shock over this bum ass nigga who likes Aquaman. This is another case of what I'll be talking about when I say some of these studios don't understand their audience. Nobody likes Aquaman. Nobody. The fuck you at him for? Flash had a series on a WB that was going on for like 10 plus years. Yeah, or either 10 plus years or about 10 years. Fuck is wrong with y'all, bruh? Anyway. I do really truly think by myself, no one else in the world, but I stand on Aquaman and Lola are really cool. And I hope you all check them out. Statistically speaking, niggas is not checking this shit out. But I get it. At the end of the day, when you're creative and you create something, you want people to interact and engage with your creation. So I'm not gonna hate on him for that. But I will say, as an audience member of the creation you made, one of the biggest parts of creating is understanding your audience. Your audience doesn't want to play as Aquaman. Your audience doesn't want to play as Lola Bunny right now. Character selection comes down to a bunch of things, including development time, listening to what the community wants. No, the fuck it didn't. No, it did not come down to listening to what the community wants. Ain't nobody in the fucking community say, we want Black Adam, we want Aquaman, we want Banana Guard, we want Nubia, we want one Teen Titan. Fuck everybody else, just one Teen Titan. Nigga, I'm part of the community. We was not saying that. We was not saying that, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. Stop making shit up, bro. Stop making shit up, bro. Anyway. Working with IP holders and approvals. If there is a cross-marketing opportunity available to support, and of course the team is inspired to make the character. Well, maybe, and this might be a hot take, maybe you should have not considered some of those cross-promotional opportunities, because, like, functionally, Black Adam is a cool character, but in an IP-based fighter, nobody gives a fuck about the functions. Like, in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, right? One of the main complaints that people had about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is that there were no X-Men characters in the roster. Because part of Marvel vs. Capcom history, actually, let's play that. No, let's play that when I'm talking about that. Part of Marvel vs. Capcom's history is starting off being a spin-off of an X-Men game called X-Men Children of the Atom, and then it evolved to X-Men versus Marvel Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, 3, Infinite, right? So when Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite came out and had no X-Men characters, that was a big problem for all of the Marvel vs. Capcom fan base, because yeah, Captain Marvel has an 8-way dash, but niggas don't give a fuck about the 8-way dash. Bitch, I want to play as Magneto. Like, yeah, fucking, I don't know, Mega Man is back, but I don't want to play as Mega Man. I want to go rawr and play as Wolverine. I want to fly in the sky and go swoosh, swoosh, swoosh and blow wind all over the place and crunk people shit a storm. I want to walk on the map as a big ass purple robot or a big ass orange robot called Mango Sentinel and go rocket punch. I don't want to play all these other fuck ass characters in the game. I want to rocket punch. When I play as Captain America and go charging star, I need backup. You know who that backup I want is? Wolverine. I want to play as Cyclops. I want to run on the map. I want a blue screen. I want the screen to turn blue behind me, and I do this shit right here. Okay? I don't want to play as Nova, nigga. Nova. I don't want to play as him. I don't want to play as all these I don't want to play as Rocket Raccoon. I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to play as Rocket Raccoon. You know what I do want to play as? X-Men character. Especially the classic X-Men characters I wear in the game. But anyway, I bring that up to say, just because you have a crossover opportunity, that doesn't mean your audience gives a fuck about the crossover. Because that shit ruined Marvel vs. Capcom 2, just like it ruined this game. Again, on a functional level, Black Adam is actually one of the better characters in Multiversus, 1, and 2, functionally, he's a greatly designed character. But you are running an IP-based fighter. In a game like Brawlhalla, they can design characters that are great because niggas do not play Brawlhalla to play as fucking Cassidy. Nobody knows who the fuck Cassidy is. But if I say Cowboy Girl, they go, oh! Niggas play Brawlhalla to play as functions. Niggas play WB fighting game to play as WB characters. I want to be Scooby-Doo, nigga. But that's another one. That's another one. How the fuck did you add Shaggy and Velma? We ain't get no fucking Fred. We didn't get not Velma. We didn't get Fred. We didn't get Daphne. It's somebody I missed. Oh yeah, we didn't get Scooby. You added 2 members of the Scooby-Doo gang and you ain't even had the nigga the show's named after. But y'all wanted to add Rhino. And don't get me wrong, I like Rhino's design. If there was a Rhino plush, I would have brought it. But the average, everybody I know that booted up Multiversus and saw Rhino for the first time said, who the fuck is this? And they didn't select him. They don't know who the fuck that is. They're playing an IP-based fighter who plays their favorite IP. It's like they wanted to create a functionally great fighting game that was very competitive, but they forgot in order to make a game that was very competitive, people have to play the game in the first fucking. But let's move on. Let's go back. For instance, Banana Guard came about because the team was enthusiastic about making it and on their own produced it over the weekend as a fun, quick to make character. Yeah. See how that turned out? He became the best character in the game. Nerfed him like 10 times, and he's still the best character in the game. While y'all was over there making Banana Guard and putting that nigga in the game for fun, you know who you could have put in the game? People we actually wanted. You're a business at the end of the day. And again, a creative business at that. And the hardest part about being a creative business, I get it, is understanding your community. But it's not like you're a fucking rapper just making songs hoping niggas will like it. Bro, you're a video game maker making a IP-based game. Just ask the niggas in your community and they would have told you, we don't give a fuck if you want to add Banana Guard. Cool functionally wise, but niggas is not downloading Multiversus to play as Banana Guard. You know who they would download the game to play as? The fucking Flash. You know who they would download the game to play as? Robin, Cyborg, Beast Boy, Starfire. Just focused on the wrong fucking things. I get it, your team made it and you was like, fuck it, we ball. But not a good look, bro. Anyway. When inspiration and enthusiasm spark, we want to reward that. And we got Banana Guard because of that. It wasn't at the expense of another character. It was because the team was excited about making a character. And that's cool and all. That's cool. But if you're gonna add characters like Banana Guard, you're gonna need to add a lot more characters that people wanted. You didn't do that. You was busy adding shit like Stripe. Stripe, my nigga. I know who that is. Cause I grew up watching the Gremlins. Cause my father's what you call elderly. So he showed me that movie when I was a jittery. So I know what that is. But the average nigga walking the earth right now has no fucking idea what the Gremlins is. Fuck. Anyway, the average nigga walking the earth, the average nigga walking the streets right now don't know who the fuck the Gremlins are, let alone no goddamn Stripe. Alright? Let's be real. Moving on. Back to reading. Whew. I don't have the power some of you think I do, which is something I've said a lot, that a lot of this shit is probably WB's fault. PFG is a highly collaborative team, and ideas are encouraged and can come from anyone. And we promote delivering value to players, man. I also hope that the community notices that we try to listen and act like any other developer. We're limited by time and resources. And you let those time and resources that are limited go to fucking Banana Guard? Sounds like you needed to help your team focus up a little. Anyway, I know that this is painful for everyone. And I know every member of PFG feels it too. And they're really who I feel bad for. Because it sounds like they had some not so great leadership. That's what it sounds like. My heart mostly goes out to them. And like, especially their content creator, like they're actually, I don't feel too bad for their content creators because them niggas will have an easier time bouncing back on their feet. Just upload a video to their fucking YouTube channel and you'll be alright. But a lot of their staff that was behind the scenes, I feel worse for them because a lot of the time, and even in this situation, shit goes downhill because of fucking terrible leadership. I know that this is painful for everyone. But when our threat, wait. But I have to call this out. You're entitled to what you say and think. You are. But when our threats to harm, it's crossing the line. And you cross that line, I'm gonna cross that line too. What's up, bitch ass nigga? Don't think cause I make video games, I can't make a nigga disappear. Oh no, that's unprofessional of me. Let me chill. That's unprofessional. I hope that you can take a step back and realize that this is an extremely sad time for them, man. These niggas lost their job because the leadership above them mismanaged them. I am in deep mourning for the game, man. Nobody wanted this outcome. And it wasn't from lack of caring or effort. That I can't co-sign. Nobody did want this outcome. Because not only, even if I didn't like Multiversus as a game, even if I genuinely didn't enjoy playing Multiversus as a game, I do enjoy the idea of Nintendo having some real fucking competition. And Multiversus, out of everything that everybody was yelling, smash killer, smash killer, smash killer, smash killer, of, this one had the best chance. Because Nick All-Stars came out a day later, 99% of the people playing the game stopped playing it. Nick All-Stars 2, that has a strong core community, but that's exactly what the community is. Core, not branching out a lot at all. So those games have a chance at making a resurgence and stuff like that, but not gonna lie, those games have a community to push the game. Multiversus, they lost their community, which is fucking crazy. WB lost their community? WB? Warner Brothers? The niggas that own all the Hanna-Barbera characters? The niggas that own all the Cartoon Network characters? Niggas that own all the characters out of HBU? And the niggas that own, HBO, and niggas that own a crazy amount of various properties? While y'all was over there adding Banana Guard and Nubia to the game, niggas was screaming at the top of their voice, add Ben 10. You could do a Pokemon trainer type situation with a cooldown mechanic. Niggas was screaming at the top of their voice, add Harry Potter. Niggas was screaming at the top of their voice. Add this person, and I get it. You're a team that's limited on time and resources. You can't add every character that everybody shouts. But it's some of those characters that niggas was shouting very loudly. Like Harry Potter and Ben 10. Those were the loudest two names I heard shouting. But you niggas made Marceline. Anyway. I sincerely hope that season 5 is enjoyed with the time we have left, and that you continue supporting other platform fighter and fighting games, as these games have impacted me in many positive ways. I did this shit for the love of the game. I've made so many friends and created so many great memories because of these games, man. And a big reason why we worked hard at PFG was to share that with you. I hope that we played a small part, and that you can look back on Multiversus and find some type of joy in the friends you made along the way and the memories you shared. And then there's a part where niggas blow their nose into the obnoxiously loud tissue, going. Thank you for allowing this year to become a reality. Even if, for a briefer time than we would have wanted. I don't know what the future holds for any of all of us. But I just wanted to say thank you. And it's been an honor to work alongside the team at PFG to serve our community and players. Now I'm not gonna give this tweet or this game the package treatment. I just had to get my jokes off and my points off. Anyway, god damn, this article hit me bright as hell. Hold on. I need to reflect this shit. I need something a little bit stronger to reflect the rays back. Fucking I need sunglasses. Holy shit. Reading websites in all white really fucks with my eyesight. You feel me? That's big. Why does it? Whatever. That should be larger, no? Listening to he continued. Multiversus community manager and game developer Angelo Rodriguez Jr. also came to Big Tony Tone's defense. I've legitimately been losing sleep over the past few days watching as all of this has been happening to Tony. He wrote on Zitter before going on to praise the director's devotion to the game and the sacrifices he made on his behalf. I know things aren't the best right now and everyone is looking for answers, Rodriguez Jr. continued. Receiving threats of physical harm against him is not and will never be the way. And to add on to that, yeah, I agree. I agree deeply. Because y'all, like, some of y'all really gotta think. If you threaten a nigga's life, they're gonna feel uneasy. And it's already hard as fuck to develop games with goddamn bigwig executive investors that don't know what the fuck they're talking about, walking up to you every 2 seconds, putting their dick on your shoulder saying, hey, change this, change that about your creative vision, right? It's already hard enough to have that type of pressure on you. But on top of that, now you got people telling you to end your own life. Like, bro, that's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all niggas need to relax. Y'all need to chill. And it's not, I'm not even going to be the, how would you feel if, because niggas don't care how they would feel if in this type of situation. I look at it like, bro, you want something. You're telling the person you want something from, hey, I'm going to come to your house and do such and such to you. It's not going to make them make it any faster. In fact, like I said, they're going to get depressed and make it very slower. So I never got the point of sending a nigga a threat on their life because they didn't make the fucking video game you wanted or they didn't make the decision you liked in a video game. To me, that's loser weirdo shit, because again, let's say you do threaten them and you do carry out your threat. Let's say you say, oh, I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna blow your house up. What the fuck is blowing a house up gonna do? You blow their house up, now they homeless. Now they gotta spend all their time worrying about where they gonna live instead of just worrying about how to make this character in a way, how to improve this character's design in a way so that the fucking players who play this game have a good fun time enjoying playing as this character. Like, you niggas don't bite the hands that feed you and then stab the person sticking their hand out on top of that. Because all you're gonna do is go, my stomach hurt, and you're gonna die of hunger. It's the second high-profile WB game that WB had to pull the plug on this year. It also abandoned Suicide Squad. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that. Yeah. And not everyone is using Multiversus' demise to settle scores or rehash old design debates. Thank you, Multiversus, for the awesome memory. Reads one top thread on the subreddit. That's subreddit shit. I don't give a fuck about that. My biggest takeaway, and the biggest takeaway I want like a lot of future platform fighter developers or just fighting game or developers in general to take away, is Multiversus on a competitive tip was legitimate. What, not so much competitively, but as like a core fighting system for the game. There's always gonna be people who don't like a certain game's fighting system. So a lot of the people complaining, oh, it was too floaty, the game was too slow, blah blah blah. A lot of that is a vocal minority. A lot of that is a vocal minority. You can always find an audience of people who do like that thing. But one thing I always say is whenever you see hate comments, pay attention to who they're coming from. Because if you got random nigga number 9 that was never gonna play the game anyway, saying, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hope the studio shuts down and all the devs get fired. I don't give a fuck what he says. But if a nigga like me, I'm an addict to any platform fighter, even with Multiversus. When the game shuts down, I'm still gonna play it while it's offline against AI and against the homies and the bros and shit like that. I'm definitely still gonna be playing Multiversus even when it's offline. When I, a person who is an avid fan of platform fighters, is playing the game, and I tell you, hey bro, this shit got a lot of issues. This game has XYZ issues. This thing is an issue. This thing is an issue. If somebody like me can name all the issues and problems that I have with the game that make me want to get the fuck off the game, and I'm a platform fighter addict, I play Super Smash, Flash. I'm gonna play Framemakers whenever the fuck it comes out. I play I don't only play Ultimate, I still go back from time to time and I'll play Brawl and I'll play 64, especially when I play Smash Remix. I fucking love playing Smash Remix, dog. I love that shit. DKO, which I gotta continue enjoying that this month before it shuts the fuck down. DKO. Fucking Nick All-Stars 1 and 2. 1 has a lot of fucking flaws, but I still like it. I still like playing it. I was part of the 1% of niggas that didn't get off the game after the first day. The 1%. I'm part of the 1% of the 1% of people who still, every once in a while, will go back and play those games. I didn't like playing Multiversus. That should have told you a lot. And like I said, is this shit just looping? The fuck? I not liking that game should have told you a lot. Me not liking that game should have told you something was wrong. People like me not liking that game should have told you something was wrong. Because your target core demographic said that shit is whack. Your target core demographic said take that shit off the PS5 airwaves, off the PC airwaves, off the Xbox Series airwaves, off the PS4 airwaves, off the Xbox One airwaves. If we was crying take that shit off the airwaves, what do you think the average nigga playing the game for the first time was saying? And also how hard it was to unlock characters. Like, bro, I could go on for days about all the failures of Multiversus, and I still like it at the end of the day. And I'm a platform fighter person. And making these jokes and shit like that, like, yeah, I'm getting my jokes off, but it's sad to see shit like this happen. It's sad to see a game die in front of your face in 4K. It's sad, bro. But it is what it is. Some people gotta die for some people to live. Speaking of people dying, let's talk about Xbox. Now, the Xbox multi-platform strategy, according to a former PlayStation boss, It's something to be optimistic and look forward to. And like I keep saying, if y'all not noticing it now, it looks like Xbox is about to segg themselves. And the only thing I think that could keep Xbox in the conversation is if they basically make themselves a more powerful Nintendo Switch, and they basically go the route of where the Steam Deck, where a Xbox branded Steam Deck basically, or a Xbox branded Nintendo Switch basically, where you put the shit in the dock connected to the TV and you got 4K 60 to 120 FPS type beat. If they not talking about that, if they not going that route, I don't see any real reason to release a new Xbox console. Because I'm not gonna lie, most of the people who I know that want to play Game Pass are gaming enthusiasts. Game Pass is only valuable to a gaming enthusiast. Now, Call of Duty did boost the numbers. I will throw my hands in the sky, bend forward, and give y'all that. I will give y'all that. That shit really boosted the fuck out of it. But one thing I can say is that boosted the fuck out of it, but how long will that boost last? Number one. Number two, how many of those people on PC versus a physical Xbox? And then a good majority of the people, statistics came out, that were playing Call of Duty, brought it and played it on PlayStation, PC / playing it on Game Pass on PC. So the average gaming enthusiast, unless they're a fucking Xbox, unless they're a corporate dick muncher, unless they're one of those people that put the corporation beef on their back, they grab the wall and they get the trying to make a corporation bust being an Xbox. There's no reason to buy an Xbox. You could get the same service but better if you just build a PC, and then on top of that, be able to play and do everything you can with a PC. So let's read further, and I want to see exactly what he said. Multi-platform is a strategy, particularly in a world where the cost of development is increasing dramatically. This is true. It is costing more and more to develop these games, and it's requiring studios to want to fight to recoup more and more money back in sales. By that I mean, if you spend $100 million making a game, you want $200 million back. And like, that's just a general business principle in like overall. If you spend $1, you want to make $2 back. You spend $5, you want to make 10 back. You spend 50, you want to make 100 back. So on, so forth. And people got different ways of doing that, but in the gaming industry, it's by measuring sales. If you spend 100 million on this game, you want to make back 200 million. Not every game is going to be able to do that. Some games are only going to sell 2-3 million and hard stagnating for the next 10 years, only sell about 1 million over the next 10 years. So it's like, yo, multi-platform may be the way to go. Making it more accessible to play games for them, and for making money back for making these games that they can put out in the world, that may just be the wave. Multi-platform means widening your addressable market. True, because a lot of people can't afford $400-500 for a computer that can only play video games, but they can afford $400-500 for a phone that they keep in their pocket that they probably don't know how to use, but that's another conversation. They can afford $400-500 for their phone because it makes calls and it goes on social media and it browses YouTube. Xbox, I mean, you could browse YouTube, but probably got a phone. Why don't you do that on your phone that also, again, makes calls and goes on social media? Why not give people what they want where they can accept it, which is on their phones, on their Fire Sticks, their Chromebooks, so on and so forth. Anyway, as the marketing guys say, how do you create the fear of missing out? Trying to do that by bringing everyone to your platform, saying if you're not here, you're missing out. But if it's available on all platforms, that's one of your marketing tactics. You can't say it's only available here if it's available everywhere. True, where are you going with this? So it's a balancing act, right? Not really. If you're gonna put everything everywhere, just put everything everywhere. That's what makes the most sense, because at the end of the day, if people aren't buying Halo on PlayStation, maybe they'll buy it on PlayStation. But if people are buying Halo on PlayStation, why wouldn't they buy? Are buying it on Xbox? Why wouldn't they buy it on PlayStation? Clearly, the Xbox niggas love it, and clearly they love it. But we're not making enough money on FOMO. So what if instead of making money off of FOMO, we make money off of making good games available everywhere? I'm increasing my addressable market. That's good. I'm making it harder to sell only on my platform. Yeah. Some of those days, I don't want to say those days are dead, but for Xbox, those days are over. Like I said, the only thing they can do moving forward is say, hey, we're selling games as a service on our console is the best way to play that game service. Which you might get some enthusiasts, some Xbots on that, but I don't really see the average nigga buying that. Anyway, as Layden noted, there was a precedent for this shift in business tactics, Sega, following the launch and poor sales of the Dreamcast. Sega dropped out of the console hardware race to focus on developing and publishing video games. We've seen it before. I was in a business when Sega brought their Dreamcast titles to PlayStation 2. And in time, yep, that's the thing. Started a sentence off with a fucking conjunction. You could have just made the and lowercase and dropped the fucking period. Dipshit didn't translate the fucking quote in the text properly. Yo, what is when niggas starting sentences off with conjunctions? I don't get it. I paid attention in English class. I was specifically told that the way that a conjunction works, it defeats a bit. All right, let me tell you why this pisses me off. The idea of a conjunction is to connect two ideas to each other. Think of it like this is, I don't know, Brooklyn, this is Manhattan. You put, I think it's a Verrazano. I could be wrong, but it really doesn't matter what the fuck the name of the bridge is. My point will still make sense. You got Brooklyn, you got Manhattan. They're two separate land masses that don't naturally connect to each other. So if you wanted to go from Brooklyn to Manhattan, naturally there wasn't no way to do it. So a group of people got up, they made a bridge, called it the Verrazano Bridge, and it connects Brooklyn, Manhattan. So now if you're on Manhattan and you want to go to Brooklyn, or you're in Brooklyn and you want to go to Manhattan, you just go across the Verrazano Bridge. That's what that's supposed to be, a bridge. So they turn from bridging the gap to turning around and saying, man, fuck this bridge, blow it up. We don't need Brooklyn anymore. That, so to speak, that's basically what happened. Wait. I'm tripping. I tried to wrap it around too fast. But, yeah. To link two ideas to each other, right? Imagine if there was a bridge from Brooklyn to Manhattan that wasn't the Verrazano, and they just decided to build the Verrazano Bridge to the middle of the ocean. That wouldn't really make sense. What are you connecting the bridge to? Nothing. That's why you can't put a conjunction at the beginning of a sentence. You're connecting the idea to nothing. But wrapping back around to Sega, Sega became a software-only company, and that has been a great transformation in that respect. Yeah, Sega went from struggling to slightly less struggling. Microsoft has two big games on the way to PS5 consoles this very year. Last year it was confirmed that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle would reach that platform several months, so basically it was a timed exclusive, after its Xbox and PC launch. And last week, the company revealed that Forza Horizon 5 will also race onto the PS5 in spring. I'm pretty sure racing enthusiasts are happy about this, but I don't give a fuck. But that is a big Xbox heavy hitter, and chances are they put one of their big three on PlayStation. Don't be surprised if the other two come to PlayStation, because again, like they said, they're trying to Sega themselves. In terms of hardware, Xbox Series X/S sales are reportedly behind the Xbox One at the same point in both of their life cycles. Because most people who are gaming enthusiasts don't have to choose an Xbox at all, because there's no Xbox exclusives. PlayStation still has a fuck ton of JRPGs that will probably be trapped on its hardware and never moved off for the rest of eternity. One, because all the PlayStation consoles so far, even PS4, have console exclusives, like especially if you play ARPGs or JRPGs, that are just locked to the fucking console, and for some odd reason will just never move off the console, and games that will also never die and never translate to PC, like I said. One, and they have other cool shit like Astrobot. They have a couple cool timed exclusives like Stellar BBL. I think it was a cool game, but everybody else didn't agree because nobody fucking played it. Rise of the Ronin, fucking, this is not going to be a timed exclusive, but Astrobot. So it's like, we have amazing things like that on PlayStation that will never leave PlayStation versus Xbox. When's the last time you could name a game that came out only on Xbox that people were excited for? Couldn't have been Gears of War. Because the last 3 Gears of War people didn't like. Niggas didn't like Judgment Day. Niggas didn't like 4 or 5. What has it been? Halo? Ever since Flop for Flop Studio. Oh. It's not Flop for Flop no more. It's Halo Studios. So put a Halo over Flop for Flop. But after Flop for Flop Studios took over Halo niggas haven't liked Halo since. And Infinite got shuttered within 2 years. I think it was a year, but I'm gonna give it some grace. Within 2 years of starting up, that shit's cooked. Forza sells well, but it's one of their big 3. But it was only one of their big 3 because it was Xbox racing game. Now that it's gonna be Xbox racing game everywhere, I don't know. It has more to compete with, and like all their exclusives and stuff like that is just non-existent. And like, if I was to look up a list of games that were truly exclusive, the Xbox Series X/S, like throughout the whole library of everything that is ever released on Xbox, it's probably gonna be a bunch of shitter ass games that nobody ever heard of. Number one. Number two, because of the Xbox Series S, there's a lot of major heavy hitter games, like for example, a Wukong, a Cyberpunk, that can't come to Xbox because if it works on the X, it also has to work on the S, or else the game can't be put out on either. So you're not only do you not have any exclusives, heavy hitters are not coming to your platform, period. And then on top of that, like, your console just isn't that much better than a PS5. Like, yes, it's better, but it's incrementally, minutely better. It's not so much better that it's worth it. And if you care about shit like which console has the better graphics, which console has the better gigawatts and tigaflops and all that shit, you're probably the type of nigga to build a PC like me. The good news for Microsoft is that its multi-platform approach appears to be paying off, as it was apparently the #1 video game publisher in 2024 December, thanks partly to its Call of Duty games. It's another thing. Everything that they make money off of makes money on all platforms. So if Xbox didn't exist, Call of Duty would still make money on PC and PlayStation. Niggas who buy a Nintendo Switch don't give a fuck, expect, or care about having Call of Duty on Switch. So fuck them. Yeah. I think this is a really interesting thing and a really weird time to see play out in motion, especially because like I wasn't around when the whole Sega thing happened, but I still know the history. This is weird to see like in real time actually happen. Something that there are certain group of people that also believe this would be a weird thing to see is Need for Speed returning, because EA pledges that it will, but the team said we're not working on it, but for now we're all in on Battlefield. Small group had previously been working on Racing Series Future, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm reading this article really for my personal, because I'm not like the craziest racing game fan or nothing like that, but I do remember as a jittery I played Need for Speed games on like GameCube and PlayStation 2 and stuff like that, and this franchise kind of like, on top of falling to the wayside quality wise, it kind of became forgotten, because there was at one point where any game that had cars and racing in it, niggas said Need for Speed. Now you haven't heard of Need for Speed in for fucking ever. This is damn near a dead franchise in the eyes of the public. Let's read on. Back in 2023 September, EA announced that the majority of Criterion would move over to support development with the next Battlefield game. I think we reviewed that on stream. We remember that. While a smaller core group within the British studio continued on with Need for Speed. At the time, Battlefield boss Vince Zampella and Criterion's Need for Speed team would continue to work to shape what's next for the franchise. I have a strange feeling. That how well Battlefield does or doesn't do will determine if Need for Speed comes back. Here's why I say that. Need for Speed is not a primary franchise that everybody knows. Because like I said, 10 years ago, you would have walked down the street, look left and right, and asked niggas, yo, you right there, I'll give you $100 if you name a racing game right now. Their first answer would have been Need for Speed. Not the same right now. That was 10 years ago. Right now, I don't really know if that's the case. Gang. Another thing about why I think Battlefield will be the determining factor. The only time gaming companies really go back to older IPs that they haven't made in a while, only time they do that is when they're up. So if they're not up, I don't think they're gonna revive this old ass franchise that barely anybody plays in order to like, what's the words I'm looking for? They're not gonna revive a dead franchise to make money, because the Need for Speed franchise is beloved within its community, but its community is not that big anymore. Because as I said, the last couple Need for Speed games, quality wise, said and they dipped down. So the community is smaller, and the game hasn't released in fucking ever. So the community is even smaller. If Battlefield does well, they might take a chance making this, because there's no predictability to their profitability of making this game. So if Battlefield doesn't do well, if Battlefield comes out and again it has a shitty day one like it always does, them niggas not gonna get any rest. They're already not gonna get any rest because they work at fucking EA, and EA is known for having terrible crunch culture. But on top of having terrible crunch culture, they're not gonna have any rest because they're gonna be tirelessly working not to just make a game, but to make the game fucking run. My advice is never treat Battlefield like in Fallout. They'll patch the game in the playability eventually over like the next year after it's out, but the first year while it's out, buy that shit on console, and I hope you don't get that many glitches. At the time, Battlefield boss Vince said Criterion's Need for Speed team would continue work to shape what's next for the franchise. In the 18 months since, we've seen additional content arrive for 2022's Need for Speed Unbound. Didn't even know they dropped a new Need for Speed in 2022. I thought the last one they dropped was like on the Xbox One. I should tell you something. The series' latest and last launch to date, but no word on what's next after that. Surprise, we're still here. Developer Criterion Games wrote in a blog post in 2024 February when it celebrated Need for Speed's 30th anniversary. Today, it sounds like what's next for Need for Speed is still some way off, even if there's a commitment to the series long term. I don't know. The Need for Speed team at Criterion are joining their colleagues working on Battlefield. He said in a statement to Eurogamer today, as a company, it was important to us to take that last year to listen to our Need for Speed community and use their feedback to create content for Unbound. With an increased understanding of what our players want and a Need for Speed experience, we plan to bring the franchise back in a new, interesting way. See that? The fuck? See that word right there? Back. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you dropped the game in 2022 and it had a healthy amount of players, you shouldn't be struggling to bring them back. I know people who brought Elden Ring in 2022 that's still on their first playthrough right now. They didn't beat Mog, they're not nowhere near even fucking Melania, Shadow the Erdtree, none of that. You don't have to say we plan to bring a franchise back when a here to stay franchise is already here. You know what I'm saying? So this right here tells me that this nigga doesn't have a lot of confidence in a fucking franchise. What do you mean bring it back? Your last entry was in 2022, nigga. Once an annual stalwart of EA's release schedule, the Need for Speed series now looks set for an extended break with no new games seemingly in active development. With no new title, because again, Need for Speed has its core audience, but that shit has been shrinking. So that's not a guaranteed moneymaker game. Once an annual stalwart of with no new title in the wings for 2025, Need for Speed will be paused for the longest time between releases since the series first began all the way back in 94. Criterion is currently under one of 4 EA developers working under the umbrella of Battlefield, blah, 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 blah. If Battlefield doesn't do good, we might be able to kiss that Need for Speed goodbye. Now, they said that it's not in active development, but that they were working on it, but I don't know, man. I never trust a studio when they say what they're actually doing. Till I see something based off of like actual gameplay or some shit like that, I don't trust it. Something I do trust is Event Hubs saying that Ed Boon has out his own mouth said that NetherRealm Studios' next game has been planned for a long time and that we should be on the lookout because they're planting seeds now. Now, whether it's Injustice Gods Among Us, a new IP, or a third thing, I don't fucking know. Or our next Mortal Kombat, let's say. The one thing I do have to ask is that you hurry up and shoot Mortal Kombat. You hurry up, grab Mortal Kombat 1 by the collar, you walk out to that backyard, around the corner from that old man so he can't see. Click, click. Wow! Put that shit to rest so I could buy it for $30 on sale with all the DLC. Let that motherfucking price drop, bitch. Let that price drop so I get it for free on fucking PlayStation Plus. Anyway, let's talk about how when asked specifically what's coming from NetherRealm Studios in the future, Eddie Boy said, it's not like when we finish a game, we go, what are we gonna do next? We decided what we're going to do a long time ago. Always gotta keep something in a pipeline. Pause. That sounded like I'm a crack addict. You always got a plan for what you want to do after you're done doing what you're doing and rolling it out. He did note that NetherRealm Studios is sowing seeds currently for their next title. The next game hasn't been announced. I'd love to give you that exclusive, but I'd probably get in big trouble, said big old Eddie Boy. We're supporting Mortal Kombat 1 with additional characters and whatnot. We're planting the seeds for the next game. Development times and team sizes. Boone was asked about typical development cycles for the Mortal Kombat games. Almost every MK has 2 years or less of development time. Mortal Kombat 1 was 4 years. 19 to 20, 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, that checks out. There was a lot of factors involved in it. Game engines, the Corbin Blue pandemic. I don't think our goal is to take 4 years for every game at this point. Yeah, basically that was an exception because of extenuating circumstances. When NetherRealm Studios joined WB, they gave the studio 6 months of additional development time to make MK9's release in 2011 awesome. It was the best-selling Mortal Kombat game at that time. Boone cited the decreased pressure to release that game and more time to improve various things as reason why the games did solid like it did. Wait. Well, maybe he's not saying that. Okay, what I'm thinking in my brain is this nigga is basically saying because time for Mortal Kombat 1, the timeline for making that game was so fucked up by the Corbin Blue thing, we actively weren't able to do what we wanted to do, even though technically we had more time to do what we wanted to do. That's what I think I'm reading. I could be wrong. That's what I think I just read. Increased pressure and more time to improve various things. Big old Eddie Boy noted that the first Mortal Kombat game released in '92 and had 4 people working on it for 8 months with less than $1 million budget. The second game had 5, the third was roughly 9, and then went to 25, 70, so on and so forth. By the time they joined WB, they had about 90 staff members working on Mortal Kombat. Now it's hundreds of people who work on a Mortal Kombat title. Yeah, hundreds of people work on that title, and 0 of those hundreds of people said, hey gang, we think if the game goes like this, it's not going to be a good idea. And nobody in upper management said, right, and changed shit around. Ed Boon was then asked how he approaches making a new Mortal Kombat game and blah 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 blah. If you were to ask what the common thread or theme is, answer the question of why should somebody play this version when they've played 10 or more other ones? Let's answer that question. Let's add something to the fighting, to the story, or the overall experience that's never been done in a Mortal Kombat game. I like this quote. Let me tell you why. Let's add something to the fighting, the story, or the overall experience. Let's shorten that to let's add something to the overall experience that's never been done in a Mortal Kombat game. I feel like there's a lot of games out there that keep trying to reinvent the goddamn wheel when all you have to do is make a slightly better wheel. You don't have to do no dumb shit like instead of a wheel, let's use hexagonal wheels. Instead of wheels, let's use hover jets. Like, yeah, wanting to use hover jets is cool, but not everybody's capable of making hover jets competently. Okay? Not everybody's capable of competently doing it. So instead, just make sure that your wheel is as good as it can possibly be. Maybe you found out it's better to put spokes on a wheel. So you take your superior wheel design and you put spokes on it. Maybe you find out it's better for this particular region of people that you tend to sell sell winterproof wheels that are good for driving in the snow. What you do is you don't go and try and make a whole new wheel. You try and take the wheel that already exists. You say, okay, why is this bad at driving through snow? Or how can it be better at driving through snow? And then you work from there. You work from there. You don't have to do something new that nobody's ever seen. Just do something that nobody in your audience has ever seen. There's there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing. Even what I'm doing, not new. Not new. But this is the first time I'm doing. So it's different from me and my audience that I'm garnering. Okay? Going forth. And ideally has never been done in another fighting game or video game. That's another thing I like about that quote that I just, He said, hey, if we do something that truly hasn't been seen under the sun, W, great. But that's not our focus. Our focus is to put forth the best experience of the unique thing that we created forth. I like that. Boone cited MK1's cameo system as a unique and special thing about the latest entry in the franchise. When covering some potential pitfalls they run into the past, Eddie Boy said that releasing games in the same franchise too often was an issue. That's a fact. There is such thing as market saturation. So we went a few years where we were releasing them, in my opinion, too frequently. Yeah, DC versus Mortal Kombat. I like the game, but subjectively and objectively, objectively, that game was ass. Subjectively, oh, I fucking love that game. But objectively, that game was fucking terrible. And if you're having trouble understanding the difference between objective and subjective, an objective goal is based on something that can be factually measured. A subjective goal is based on a nigga's opinion. So, for example, objectively, this tie is orange. Subjectively, this tie looks fucking cool. Somebody could see this tie and be like, bitch, that shit look ass. We would call that a fucking colonizer. But objectively, unless you're fucking colorblind, which does not change the fact that the tie is orange, this tie is orange. So objective fact, this tie is orange. Subjective fact, I like that this tie is orange. There was 1 year where we did 3 games in 3 years. Mortal Kombat Deception, Shaolin Monks, and Armageddon. I felt like there were periods of time where we overexposed MK, but then we gave it a rest, and then people said, where's my next Mortal Kombat game? Yeah, that's true. You gotta give the people time to miss you. Closing this out, Boone is one of the people cited by Guinness World Record for the longest running voice actor for Scorpion. Boone was asked if he plays the character he voices in the game. Most of the time, he said. Full interview, blah, 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 blah. Y'all can look at the bottom of the screen. Y'all can zoom in and find a fucking full interview. But yes, I enjoy seeing this developer talk about some shit he loves. And I enjoy that, like, even though they dropped a stinker, Mortal Kombat has came back from dropping stinkers before. Look at, like I said, the Shaolin Monks Deception and all that. Some of those games were good, some of those weren't. But they bounced back for them 3D bullshits that they did drop. Like the game with Jax where he was dancing on the LSD background and shit like that. From that one, the Sonya Blade game and the goddamn Sub-Zero Stories or whatever the fuck it's called. They bounced back from making those games that were the opposite of a critical darling and made some great bangers, like what I hope Ubisoft does, because these niggas are on a big losing streak, and I want to see Assassin's Creed be fun again. I want to see Assassin's Creed back at the fighting for a spot at the top of the mountain. Right now, WB's not even on the mountain. Fuck fighting for a spot. Fuck their position on the mountain to get a spot at the top. These niggas ain't even at the mountain site. These motherfuckers on the beach going and every time they take 2 steps forward, they go, I gotta restart. I gotta restart. I gotta restart. Let me lock in. That's them right now. They're limping on the beach. Everybody at the mountaintop, they either fighting to get to the top, they at the bottom, preparing themselves. They go doing their scratches and all that to get to the top. Assassin's Creed, they're on the beach. But maybe these Assassin's Creed Shadow spoilers that popped up on an Adele website, it changed my mind. Now, I am assuming that everything here is fake. I will never in my fucking life believe a gaming rumor if it doesn't already make sense. And when it comes to script, voice acting, leaks and stuff like that, I double don't believe the shit till I see it. But I decided to pull this up on stream because, one, the fucking idea of the headline is funny. Like, what do you mean on a hentai web? Because I seen some other headlines that said it was a hentai website. What the fuck do you mean this shit leaked on a hentai website? 1, 2, reason probably why I think it leaked on there is because porn websites usually have lower senses of moderation and have lower moderation. Like, unless it's one of those sites, as long as you're not doing let's just say lollipop convention type shit, they really don't give a fuck. So art book details, key villains, legendary creatures, so on so forth. Let's get into how over the weekend scans of the game's currently unreleased art book were posted on a hentai site before vigorously being pulled offline by publisher Ubi. So hey, wait, hold on. Question. I gotta ask. How did you know somebody leaked your game on a porn website? I'm just curious because, like, right now, my Christian, wholesome, focused on my purpose, black scholarly self would never know if my information got leaked onto a pornographic website. Because me and my black brothers, we are too good for that. We are so busy in pursuit of our purpose that we cannot distract ourselves because we are practicing dick discipline. How did you know that people leaked scans and a plot for your game on a pornographic content website of cartoon porn? How did you know that? How did you know? Who snitched? I'm just saying, where did you get the information from? Can a brother ask a question? Can a brother simply ask a question? Yes or no? My brother. I just want to know, my brother. How you find out? Alright, moving on. Of course, the internet took notice. And another question. Wait. As an employee, how do you explain to your boss how you found this? Like, how do you, as an employee, how do you explain this to your boss? Be like, hey, boss, so over the weekend, right, I was on one of my favorite hentai websites, and I was about to beat my shit ridiculously to some animated cartoon pornographic content, right? And I saw that they leaked plot details from our game. Your boss gonna be over there looking at you like... No, wait. Your boss gonna be over there looking at you like... I know what you are. You're no longer allowed to be in a break room by yourself, mister. Anytime you need to go print something, you need to be escorted. Freaky ass nigga. But thank you for bringing this to our attention. Like how do you find that out, bro? I'm just curious. I want to hear what that conversation was like. Anyways, moving on. And you can now find the 200. Oh damn, 200 plus pages. Oh, niggas know the whole plot. I'm gonna read that on my own time, but niggas know the whole plot. Oof. Niggas gonna know how this game came out. Included in the leak was the art book, images which we won't include here, are details of the game's major locations, items, and characters. There's detail on what happens to be the game's Templar antagonist that Ubisoft has so far decided to keep. Man, they always using these words that don't nobody fucking know. Nigga, what is that? Stum? Silent dumb. Okay, so it's a made up word. Has decided to shut the fuck up about, even after last month's Assassin's Creed previews. But yet, hands-on previews is not the same as niggas knowing the entire plot of the whole fucking game. Also, included are descriptions of the game's legendary creatures, which I hopefully expect to be able to tame. That is a good feature from Valhalla. I don't know if it started in Valhalla, but I first noticed it in Valhalla, where you could tame creatures and shit like that. And keep in the game's new customizable base. I seen that feature. I don't know about that one yet. I don't know if I'm going to get that one yet. Alongside my garden variety cats and Tanuki. These are not the same as Assassin's Creed Odyssey's mythological fights, such as against Medusa and the Minotaur. Indeed, there's little in the art book that draws heavily on fantasy. Likewise, there's nothing in there on the game's modern day storyline, which is now being told separately by the series' new Animus hub. So for those of y'all who don't know about that, you know how like Call of Duty has, how when you get the new Call of Duty, you just download the Call of Duty launcher and then you just claim whatever Call of Duty you purchase instead of just downloading the files for that individual Call of Duty, which is a system I absolutely fucking hate, but we're not going to talk about that. They're doing the same thing for Assassin's Creed. So starting with Shadows, instead of downloading and playing each individual Assassin's Creed game by itself separately, you're downloading the whole hub and then you're going from there. After its most recent delay, Assassin's Creed Shadows is now set to blah 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 blah. Is there anything else? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm low. I know I'm gonna hear about the previews, so whether I remember to look at them or not kind of doesn't matter. But hey man, I really just wanted to bring this up because this shit is funny, and I hope that these leaks come out and that the story's really fucking good. I don't care about spoilers, so if I get spoiled, I don't care. But I'm just letting y'all know. Another reason why I'm bringing this up, I wanted to let y'all know if y'all give a fuck about Assassin's Creed Shadows, if y'all care about the story, That's gonna be you for the next couple days on social media. Because the leaks is coming. Oh yeah, they're gonna come hard. You might have to mute them words on Twitter. But you know what's something? Speaking of Twitter, let's talk about trends and how From Software on turning Elden Ring into a multiplayer roguelike for Night Rain said that we didn't really see this as chasing a trend. Though its genre combos certainly do feel like buzzwords, which I felt that too. But getting on to the article, I feel like I don't really need to give a lot of context for this. The next Elden Ring game, if I was to describe it to you, it would sound like a hodgepodge of me just spitting out marketing terms of concepts and ideas that I think gamers want in their game, because the popular game that they play has the same idea. It's essentially, it has battle royale mechanics, it has roguelike mechanics, which every fucking indie game that's out right now wants to be a goddamn roguelike. So it has that. It also has like the whole Soulsborne action RPG type mechanics, and it's something else that I remember was added in there. And I don't know, that'll probably remind me in this article, but the shit just sounds like a hodgepodge of, okay, what are the most popular concepts and types of games right now? Okay, add that, and it sounds like they added everything but it being a fucking shooter. FromSoft surprised everyone at the Game Awards last year, rather than the typical format developer uses for its Soulsborns. It was a full-on multiplayer. Oh yeah, multiplayer co-op. That's what it was. Multiplayer co-op. A full-on multiplayer cooperative roguelike with a battle royale circle type mechanic. Those combinations of words certainly feel like they could have been combined specifically to appeal to a mass market. Both multiplayer games and roguelikes are generally incredibly popular thanks to their replayability factor these days. But as Night Rain director Ishizaki shared in a recent interview with PT Gamer in a recent magazine, shout out Games Radar, the focus was condensing this experience down. The RPG elements, the exploration and character building and leveling. So what it sounds like is they said it sounds like they said fuck you more. And you remember how people was going on YouTube and looking up YouTube best builds for their characters? We're tired of that shit. So here's what we're gonna do. Every time you start the game up, you ain't got no build, bitch. Pick a preset build and that's what you rocking with, pussy. Let's see if you get through the game without. Let's see if you can get through the game without cheesing it, fuck nigga. Ishizaki explained that From Software wanted it to feel like it was all coming together and culminating in a boss fight, but in a more concentrated form, which is an interesting trend I'm noticing. Just like the trend of more and more people picking up a bottle, a glass, a jug, whatever hydration concentration device that they have to drink some water. And that's a trend that I'm about to participate with along with you. Now get the fuck up. Go. I don't care if you gotta go to the bathroom, put a cup in the toilet bowl, do whatever you gotta do. Go get you some water and take some water shots with me. W water drinking session, y'all. W water drinking session. I'll fuck with it. Anyway, another trend that I wanted to talk about was how I noticed that there's developers right now coming up with really clever ways to circumvent the fact that like every time they do something, it's gonna end up on social media or YouTube or something like that to try and get the core experiences back. Like for example, for those of y'all who haven't heard, Mortal Kombat added a new character named Floyd or something like that. Let me see. And basically what they did is they made it so that in order to unlock the character, basically, so no bitch, Floyd MK1. Okay, let me search the challenges. Yeah, challenges spreadsheet. There we go. Challenges tracker. Boom. So images. Let me see. Look, niggas making whole tutorials. Niggas making whole tutorials on how to get this character. Cause this character, the Pink Ninja Floyd in Mortal Kombat 1, even though that game fucking sucks, I enjoyed it with Ed Boon and the team came up with this idea. So the basic idea for this is that back in the day, at arcades, there were certain characters, like for example, Ermac and stuff like that, that you couldn't just unlock by picking on a character select screen and doing like a certain input or something like that. You had to randomly run into them to be able to unlock them. Back in the days, like there wasn't even when I was a little jittery and I used to use arcades and shit like that, there wasn't no phones, there wasn't no okay Google, how do I unlock such and such and such, and then your phone will tell you, okay, you go to this exact spot on the map, you press this exact button, or you go to this, you wait, play the story mode, when you get to this exact stage, you gotta beat it with this exact way and this exact character, giving you the exact breakdown of how to unlock this stuff. There wasn't none of that. So whenever a character was inside a game or something like that, and you and your bros knew about it or find out about it, it would be like this cool, exciting thing that every community found out about differently. So you might be like living in Queens and you have a cousin in the Bronx and y'all got the same arcade machine in y'all local arcades, and you go to visit your cousin in the Bronx and you go on his arcade machine and you see a character you never seen on the CSS, you be like, who the fuck is that? How he play? How he work? And you don't know how to unlock this character, how to get this character. Niggas say, hey, one day I was coming here, there was a character here, and there was no character in that spot. Next day I come, there's a character in that spot. I don't know, yo, such and such dude from around the block is an expert on this game. He know everything about this game. When we see him, you can ask him how it worked. And then you would ask him, and then you would find that out, and it would be mind-blowing. And you would take that information from the Bronx on a 2-hour trip back to Queens, and you would explain that information to your bros, and it would be like this cool mythical characters that they tell you about, that you tell them about, and they're like, man, you bullshit, and there ain't no extra characters in that game. Nigga, you lying. Stop making shit up for attention. Then you go and you unlock it and you like, see, look, and people's minds will be blown like, whoa, that's so cool. In this day and age, like I said, we have phones, we have shit like Cheat Code Central, YouTube. Well, I mean Cheat Code Central. No, nobody needs that shit. But we have stuff like that we could use nowadays because of those type of experiences that make it harder to just normally hide a character. So I say that to say, in order to make something as cool as this idea I'm about to explain to you, you're gonna have to make people jump through some funky ass hoops. What do I mean by that? So you see these different what the fuck? I don't know, bitch. Let's do PlayStation. Oh, all clues spreadsheet. There we go. That's what I need. All right, so boom. You see all of these challenges? You see all of these challenges? All 30 something of them, 39? Basically, there are 39 different challenges. You don't have to do all 39. You only have to complete 10 of these challenges. But they are randomly assigned to your account. So randomly, you have to know what 10 out of, oh, not 39, 37. You have to know randomly what 10 out of 37 of these challenges are assigned to your specific account and complete them to get Floyd to appear so that you can fight him and unlock him. But again, you only have to do 10 of these challenges, but you don't know which 10 because they're random. That's a really cool idea to make it so that people can't just even because you know people are gonna do stuff like, look, I just found a website called Floyd Tracker where you could track what challenges and stuff like that are likely have to do for your account or whatever. So they know that people are gonna create tools like this. So to circumvent that, they made it, hey, you gotta only complete 10 of these challenges, but there's 37 of them bitches. We'll give you a notification when you complete one of the ones that apply to you, bitch. That's a really cool idea and really cool way to circumvent the fact that, like I just showed you, niggas is gonna be making spreadsheets and all this type stuff about all the information of what you gotta do to unlock this stuff. So I do think the description of this game sounds like a complex ass word salad. I do think some of it is, like I said, him, like, remember how Masahiro Sakurai was Subspace Emissary? The reason why he got mad and said you will never get that shit again is because he was mad that he released the game in like a 2 days, week, month, however short period of time. The cutscenes ended up on YouTube later. I think this is the industry responding to people doing shit like that, because now they have a way to get around that. Now we have ways to basically circumvent and get through the fact that people are going to document this stuff. And I honestly say, this is a big kudos. This is why I love games in the gaming industry. Unparalleled amount of creativity that like other industries wouldn't allow and that you would never think of. But when you see it, you go, damn, why did I not think of that? It's just fucking amazing to me. Anyway, for this new sense of accomplishment, that you wouldn't quite find with Elden Ring, yeah, because there's 100 build guides out, or our previous titles, we felt like we needed some new mechanics and some new elements to add into that mix. The game director also noted that FromSoft has never really held the stance, let's absolutely not do anything that other companies are not doing or follow any trends. That's another thing I want to shout out. Now, I'm not saying to follow the trends all the time, but if you see a trend that matches your brand, go ahead and attach yourself to it. Why wouldn't you just claim those free views? That's free views, free dollars, free whatever the fuck that's just sitting right there that makes sense for your brand. For example, Marvel Rivals. We're in a trend of where I don't say it's like a current trend, but at one point in time, the gaming industry had a trend where a bunch of people were making hero shooters, and Marvel sat back and said, well, or NetEase, whoever the fuck, somebody sat back and said, well, why has nobody put literal superheroes in hero shooters? Because most people making hero shooters are making up their own unique ideas and heroes that are based off of heroes that are in Marvel anyway. So why not just skip all the workarounds and shit and actually make one with Marvel heroes? That's a trend that makes sense for Marvel to attach themselves to and go up. And that's part of the reason why Marvel Rivals is successful. Cause it makes sense. I feel like I'm on my Phantom shit. It just makes sense. Anyway, so we didn't really see this as chasing a trend, but we saw these as interesting elements that could work well within our multiplayer focused session-based gameplay, which is true. It certainly has an interesting concept, and soon a select few will be able to find out whether it works or not, as from February 14th to 17th, FromSoft is holding a network test for Night Rain. So, just like some of you, I'm going to be sitting in the crib playing on Valentine's Day, playing Night Rain by myself or with two of my friends. Likely with two of my friends, because a lot of people got this fucking invitation to this shit. So yeah, that being said, let's move on to the next article. Okay, it's 5 minutes. So that I'm gonna throw out the back, and we're gonna throw this article to the front, where we're talking about how there is a Marvel star currently trying to get a Sleeping Dogs movie made and a game sequel. So for those of you who don't know what Sleeping Dogs is, think of Grand Theft Auto, but with better gameplay. Cause like, Don't get me wrong, Grand Theft Auto has some good gameplay. Because I don't want you fucking Grand Theft Auto no-life losers to hop in my comments. What? What do you mean game that plays better than Grand Theft Auto? Grand Theft Auto is the best game of all time. You don't play no other types of games, so shut the fuck up for a second and listen to me. Sleeping Dogs was it is still a great game in the in the open world crime simulator type genre, right? Sleeping Dogs, because of unfortunate circumstances, when the game first came out, it didn't really sell well because people thought it was just a fake ass GTA, when really the combat system in that game was way better than Grand Theft Auto. So like critically, if you look at reviews at the time, it reviewed very fucking well, but it didn't sell well because again, a lot of people said, and this is what I always talk about, this is one of the things that taught me about if it's like, why don't I just test? For those of you who are new here or who haven't heard of that before, let me put you on a game. Whenever something fails, if it's like, why don't I just test, is not bound to survive. So if it's like Grand Theft Auto, why don't I just go play Grand Theft Auto? Now the answer to that is because Sleeping Dogs has a better combat system and it generally has a better story than most of the Grand Theft Auto games, in my opinion. Maybe 5 is neck and neck with it, but I feel like Grand Theft Auto story-wise has always been kind of fucking weak, especially 3, but 3 is the oldest one, so that's not fair. But as they went on, their story's getting better, and Sleeping Dogs is neck and neck with GTA 5. I still would give the edge to Sleeping Dogs because their main character actually was a fucking character, versus Grand Theft Auto, the characters were really just parts of the set piece and reasons for you to commit the crimes, and like people for you to attach to while you're committing crimes. They didn't really feel like their own characters, in my opinion. Like, they did have some interesting aspects to them, but it's not as deep as Sleeping Dogs from what I remember. It's been a while since I played Sleeping Dogs, so I'm going a little bit off of memories. Might be rose-tinted glasses, maybe. Shoulder shrug. But the studio that originally made Sleeping Dogs was disbanded and dissolved. So that talent is spread to various different other teams. They're not on the same team anymore. Like I said, the studio shut down. Doors closed. Keyboards been wrapped up for like 10 years. But recently, reports came out saying that a movie was in production. Then right after that, reports came out saying that that movie that was supposed to be in production came out of production. So let's read. Marvel actor Simu Liu, I think this is the dude from Shang-Chi, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, there we go. Exit out, please. Alright, Marvel actor Simu Liu has revealed that he is attempting to revive the Sleeping Dogs series with a movie and a sequel to the 2012 game. A movie I could see working if it coincides with the game. I could see that. Liu said on social media that it's been a tiring process to pitch Sleeping Dogs to executives. Yeah, because only hardcore gamers know what Sleeping Dogs is. Like they said, 2012. So Sleeping Dogs wasn't a popular game when it came out. Critically, it did well, but it sold like hot ass, and only gaming enthusiasts know what the fuck it is. That's gonna be really hard to pitch to a lot of people, because you're basically pitching, because for the idea, even for people who have played it, for the idea of this is gonna be like a really cool action type of movie, like action, martial arts, kung fu, whatever the fuck you want to call it, type of movie. It's gonna be real hard to pitch that with the Sleeping Dogs name, because executives are gonna go, well, why would we make that franchise with the name Sleeping Dogs attached to it, when like we can make it with insert name of other popular martial artist actor. We can make a movie with them and another more well-known property, or we can make yet another fucking sequel to some shit that we don't need a sequel to because we're guaranteed money, versus this, we're tossing it up in the air and seeing if it comes down and lands in the spot we want it to land. Versus this shit, We just hold our hand like this above the ground and drop it in. Liu, who starred in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Oh, wait, no. Everyone's overwhelming love of sleeping dogs here has give us life. Thing about that is, Sleeping Dogs is one of those communities that's very tight, but they're not tight enough to pull off something like this with executives snapping, chomping, fucking seizuring, rabid, going chomping at the bit, trying to get a piece. Sleeping Dogs is just not well known enough for some shit like that to happen. Now, does that mean it would be a flop? No. It would just be a really, really hard sell, which is what we're seeing now. Referring to the social media campaign to get a Sleeping Dog movie off the ground. Big Bro said his plan is to make a Sleeping Dog movie first, then a sequel game for everyone, or at least that's always been the dream. Why wouldn't you release them beside each other? That's my question. My question, like, I'm not doubting that it wouldn't make sense to, how should I put it? I'm not saying that it wouldn't make sense to release them separately. I'm just saying that I personally don't see the sense. It could be something I'm missing. It could be something that I'm overlooking. But why? Like, what the fuck is the actual purpose of doing that? A source told Igan. Oh wait, is there anything after this? So looking at the actual tweet, so few film projects make it from pitch phase to green light, and then even few of those are successful. Pitching execs who don't understand the game has been tiring. Yeah, because I was watching something on the How Money Works channel, talking about how a lot of people in leadership positions and like government and companies and stuff like that in general. See this motherfucker snoring. That people in leadership positions at companies, the average age is going up and up and up and up. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But long story short, is going up and up and up. And in case you're a fucking idiot and you're not putting two and two together, a lot of these older people don't give a fuck about video games. They still come from the era in their mind shit. Video games are only for kids. And all that, right? So a lot of them don't even know what the fuck Sleeping Dogs is. So to pitch to them a movie about sleeping dogs, and they barely know what Grand Theft Auto is besides, my great granddaddy plays that. They don't know about most of these games. Like, if you come to them like, hey, let's make a Pac-Man movie. Oh yeah, they're gonna be seizuring, saying, yeah, let's do it. Pac-Man's the greatest game to ever release of all time. It's the biggest game in the world. Not knowing that the biggest game in the world is probably like Fortnite, GTA 5, 6 whenever it comes, /6 whenever it comes out, Roblox. They don't know what none of that shit is. So if they barely know what the fuck a Fortnite is, besides if their granddaughter plays it and they heard of it before, they damn sure don't know what Sleeping Dogs is, when the average gaming enthusiast from right now doesn't know what the fuck Sleeping Dogs is. Because again, us gaming enthusiasts, you're watching this, you're probably a gaming enthusiast. We know what Sleeping Dogs is. But if you go down the street, ask the average person, what is Sleeping Dogs? They're gonna scratch their head and say, I don't know. Is that one of the mini games from in Squid Games? What the fuck is Sleeping Dogs? First a movie, then the sequel, blah, 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 that shit they already told us. A source told Igan that the movie is actually in development, with Liu on board to play the lead role as Wei Shin. A movie being in development doesn't mean it'll ever get made though, only that a pre-production work is being done in some capacity. So just for those of y'all who don't understand, basically that means they're getting script writers to write the script. They're getting script writers to write the script. They're doing casting, location sighting, stuff like that. It doesn't mean that they'll ever cut the camera on and film anything. This just means they're getting everything ready and they're setting up and they're planning for if they do start making a movie, what are they gonna do with the movie when it's done being made? Plenty of video game movies get announced and never come out for any random crazy number of reasons. Sleeping Dogs itself has been in development as a movie in some form for nearly a decade. After all, as Donnie Yen was at one point trying to make a Sleeping Dogs movie before apparently giving up. That name sounds familiar. Where have I heard it before? Hong Kong actor and filmmaker. Oh no, was he in? He was in Ip Man. I might know him from that. If he's the main actor in Ip Man, that might be what I know him from. Let me see. Yeah, he's Ip Man. Okay, that's why I've heard his name. Ip or IP Man. I've never known which one it is. But was at one point trying to make a Sleeping Dog movie before apparently giving up. The original Sleeping Dog game, blah blah blah, whatever the fuck. Yeah, I want to see a Sleeping Dogs movie so bad, but I don't know if it's ever gonna get made for the simple fact that, like I said, great game, but a game that nobody has ever heard of nonetheless. Speaking of great games, let's watch Post Year 1, the Battlefield.
Last point.
Oh, it's a dev diary. Yeah, let's watch it. Let's see what they're talking about.
Together, trying to accomplish something.
Helicopter crashes into the building next to you, and all of a sudden the roof drops on your head.
The vehicle play is the...
That's always been like the coolest part of this game.
Jets.
You get a bit sweaty.
That and how big the maps are.
All-out military experience. It's just unlike any other game I've played.
Remember when Battlefield used to compete with COD and not be his little brother?
This franchise comes with a long history, spanning over 20 years now. But the question is, how do you build on that and push Battlefield to the next level?
I've been playing Battlefield since long before I joined the team. When 1942 first came out, the amount of fun that we all sat down and had with it is just, still like a fond memory. Joining the Battlefield,
you know exactly why he had fun with that game.
Opportunity to give that team that space to do something just more amazing even than they've done.
I really felt like my grandpapa that stormed on the beaches.
Creating this new Battlefield universe. And to make that vision a reality, we had to think big.
Think big as hell, bruh.
Each of our 4 studios comes with its own culture and expertise into what we call Battlefield Studios.
Okay.
One team that spans across the globe and combines 20 years of...
Okay, that's cool and all, but y'all gonna talk about the fucking game? Like, y'all just saying, oh man, we have a lot of studios and the game is really fun.
For a decade now, and now we're going to bring that to the table as a fully fledged kind of partner in the Battlefield Studios.
Okay.
Mainly focused on the single player experience. So the campaign is back for Battlefield.
All right, this one I want to hear about.
We have never before had this many teams and talents dedicated to the development of Battlefield. And
his shit better be good.
Create a new, exciting future for the franchise.
You know what's crazy? They have all these teams dedicated, and the shit is probably still gonna fucking eat your computer alive the day it releases. There's very few companies that make great games that don't run well day one. And these niggas is Battlefield Studios, they're definitely one of them. All right, 100%. Dice, definite 100% one of them. 100%. They're like, it's Dice, fucking PlayStation, and goddamn, it's another one on my brain. Oh, but that's Bethesda.
Alongside our players.
This game has so much potential. So I think it's about giving the team this time to really hone their craft.
All right.
Prototype, play test, get feedback,
And then repeat that loop.
over and over and over again. We have to find gameplay that really resonates with the players and then build on
We hear about that gameplay? By getting access to that? There we go.
Labs is our new development initiative where players will get to test specific focus areas in the game.
Alright.
We've done similar things in the past, but this is a whole nother level. We're doing it before we launch the game, and we're doing it with so much more content.
It's an exciting way for us to interact with our audience before things go live and make sure that what we have is really fun and polished.
And we have to test everything, combat to destruction to maps and modes.
We're going to test all the new features that we're putting out, and we're going to test hardware like weapons, vehicles, and gadgets.
We can try different things, but also validate what players are expecting from Battlefield.
That feedback is crucial in helping us know what to prioritize, what needs improvement, and what feels like a true Battlefield experience.
We're pre-alpha, so now is the time to test all the experience.
Okay, they're still very early. They're still very early in development. I thought they was like at beta level or something like that, and now we was gonna hear more about this. I'm not gonna lie. Shut up and show me some gameplay, nigga. Yeah, that just wasn't for me. That being said, I'm gonna cut this shit off. Say bye to the YouTube stream, and we gonna vibe on the game for a bit. Bye, YouTube stream.